Okay, so hi. Um, this is episode number 1. I'm going to talk to you about my journey out of loneliness and being lost and into feeling much more visible than I did back about 9 months ago. It's no coincidence. 9 months, hey, 9 months. I've birthed a new me. But when I arrived here in Arras, I thought I was doing myself a really good favor by cutting myself off from my ex-partner, from my old life, going back close to my family, and I really think I made the right choice. But what was really difficult for me when I got back here, I knew this town. I had been here before. I have friends here. And in fact, my friends helped me find an apartment, which was absolutely wonderful. But it was difficult because I was retired and I wasn't going back out. I still teach English part-time, but I was teaching online. So I was staying inside a lot. I wasn't getting out. I wasn't meeting new people. I don't have a car anymore, so there was no way really to get around except by bus, and that was all new to me. Bus and, walking and everything else. Discovering all that, which is good for the planet. But one thing that I did do is I realized that I didn't know myself very well. I had been alone a lot in the last 40 years. I spent 20 years in a marriage, but the last 20 years I've been kind of in and out of relationships and not always living with someone. So I had been alone and I knew what it was like. But I wasn't expecting it to hit me this hard just because I felt old. Now, to give you some background on this, and not much, but my ex-partner ended up like a month later getting together with this woman who is younger, a lot younger than me. So the fact that he did that made me feel old. It made me feel like the personification of what he was trying to flee, being an older person. And I didn't like that about myself. I didn't like the fact that I felt lonely. I didn't like the fact that I felt isolated. So I started by doing all sorts of different things, but what I did do was try to get to know myself. Now, getting to know myself, I thought I knew myself, but there are a lot of things that I did not. I made an appointment with a psychologist and have gone to talk with her a lot. She and I laugh a lot, and that's a really good thing because she pointed out a lot of things to me that I was aware of, but that I wasn't seeing in the right way, and seeing why certain events of my childhood were carrying over today and had been carrying over since I was a teenager. I was a very rebellious teenager, and I did a lot of crazy things that actually I don't regret, but they got me in some trouble. So, I wanted to understand why. So that was one of the things that I did to get to know myself. Another thing that I did to get to know myself, and that I really recommend to anybody that is kind of thinking about what's going on, is to explore your feelings and your emotions in your body by journaling. There are a lot of different ways to do this, but I realized that everything that we feel starts coming out in our bodies, especially when we get older. Anything that we have stored inside. I had a really bad sciatica last year, and it almost, I can't say it almost killed me, but I couldn't walk at one point, and I ended up just like spitting everything out on paper, everything everything that was bothering me, everything that was making me feel sad, angry, from way back, not just what was going on at the moment, but from way, way back. And the sciatica went away. I'll talk more about this later, but The fact of journaling, you can start to identify your emotions. And I started dialoguing actually with these emotions. Like, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? Because, these emotions that we feel, I feel old, I feel lonely, I feel rejected, I feel worthless now because I don't have a job or I don't have a partner or whatever. They have something to tell you. You have a reason for feeling that way. So don't ignore that. Get it down on paper, or get it down on voice notes or something else. But writing really has this really wonderful effect. Writing longhand, not even typing things out, writing longhand. I got this book recently called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron that helps to bring out your creativity. And one thing that is a steadfast rule is that you should journal 3 pages every day, longhand. I bought myself a beautiful journal, and so I journal it out. Anyway, so that's one of the things that I have done to really start to explore who I am, what I want out of life, what I enjoy, what brings me joy, because that is really, really important. What brings me joy? My family, a beautiful day like today when it's not too hot. All sorts of things can bring me joy, but when you have to identify them and you have to go towards it. Okay, so that's one of the things that I started to do at the beginning when I moved here. And I let myself feel sad. I let myself cry. I recorded myself crying at Christmas, saying, I'm here by myself, and why do I feel so lonely? I don't want to feel lonely, but you have to learn to accept those feelings, so that you can integrate them in your body and let them pass through you, instead of just holding on to them and making you sick. Okay, so anyway, hope you can start to get to know yourself. Try some journaling.